Okay.
Gotta warm up. I'm so cold in here. Hell.
Good way to start the stream. Oh, it's so cold in here.
It's cold in the darkness of space.
And the title should be correct, I hope. I can't see it too well. Come on. We are on episode 11, right? Oh, thank you.
Should be.
Cool. All right. I put it in. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, I read the last one said 10, so I'm like, okay, this has got to be 11. And it's dead quiet on my side because I have nothing playing. Oh, I can close this. Oh, I can leave it open. Don't matter. I flip it to this one. All right. Whenever we're ready, we can start if you want.
Yeah, I'm ready to go if everyone else is.
Let's go.
I'm good.
All right, I gotta get Twitch stream pulled up here so I can see the chat.
You see my
Hello,
channel.
chat.
Let me close that one. I don't know why it flipped to that screen. I was like, why are you flipping that one here? There we go. Okay.
And whatever you're doing with OBS, right?
Yeah, it's no, it's just the web or the browsers. It pulls up whatever one that was there, and I was like, oh, whoops, I want this one. So we're good.
All right. So again, if anyone is interested in this game, check out Dungeons and Destiny, velvetfanggames.com/DnDestiny. The books are there for free. You can download them, check them out, give them some love, because without them, this game is not possible. All right, and with that said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right back in. So, when we last left our heroes, the party entered into the massive castle in search for Elias, who was captured by Godhand. Upon entering the castle, they learned it was encompassed by a large darkness barrier that encompassed the entire castle. As they searched, they learned more about the castle, that being centuries old and with tools and books in surprisingly good condition. It seemed occupied, but there was no one there. The beds were made, but yet there was a lot of dust, and it seemed to be abandoned yet occupied. After grabbing a few interesting looking items, they discovered a room with some strange arcana symbols scattered around the floor, and at the center of the room lay a dying Malachi, the information broker who had assisted them all this time. With the help of Singe 1, the team's newest ally, they were able to stabilize him and bring him back to at least somewhat good health. As the party prepared to leave, they split up as Singe moved Malachi to a safe room and Theo moved up to the main hall, while the others investigated music they heard coming from the back of the castle towards the throne room. After following and entering in, the doors slammed shut and they were greeted with a corrupted Elias. A battle ensued as Theo tries to break down the door to help his team and get into the fight. With Remy's fierce attacks, they're able to break down Elias's crown and free him from the spell that encased him. Godhand taunts the team, showing them all versions of their own deaths at his hand, and revealed to Singe that he was an Ahamkara. With the team released from their visions, they gathered Malachi and returned back through the corridors of time back to Elsie's ship. With Malachi now being cared for and Elias back with the team now heads back to Earth, and they have an hour to discuss what's happened. So at the moment, you guys have already been you've briefed Elsie what's happened. She's told you guys got an hour before you'll be back to Earth. So in the meantime, what would you guys like to do?
Before we go anywhere, have we looked into if this is our Malachi or if it's a different one from a different time?
That is a good question. We have been going around different timelines. Probably
At the moment, you don't really know. From the damage that he's kind of taken, he may have been there for a long time, but it's kind of hard to tell given how much damage he's taken. Like, he was tortured for a very long time. In the medical report that you guys will eventually receive, he has several broken bones, contusions, and was tortured for quite a long time.
I mean, we could also just reach out to Malachi's organization.
Yeah, we could reach. That
Yeah,
was no. That's
I was
what I was
gonna
thinking.
suggest that.
Like
You do know
we could
someone close to
uh,
Malachi who you can contact.
That was the plan.
we can contact that guy. We could also
Um,
literally just head to his closely.
Julius. That's
Yeah, I
his
was
name.
gonna
Yeah.
say Julius.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep,
Yeah,
I
this
was
is
waiting
a-
for someone to say the name.
They're
Yeah, I was
shooting
like,
us to Julius. He's like, hey,
Is
know
where
Malachi
Malachi-
still there?
you know where Malachi is. Don't.
Malachi was taken to the medical ward of the ship, where he's pretty much being seen under.
No, I was
No, say
saying
that's the
like as if
message.
we were talking to Julius.
That's
Oh.
the message. Like, ask him, do you know where Malachi is? Instead of being like, I
Is
don't know,
Malachi
I don't wanna
available?
Potentially.
Okay, yeah. So I wasn't clear on what you
Is
guys
Malachi
were doing. So.
fucking dead?
Yeah, no, I don't want to like potentially reveal that we have a second Malachi, if it is indeed a second Malachi.
True.
So are you just saying like a text message, a voice
No,
message?
we're gonna try to fucking voice because
Okay.
Okay. So you do make the call out, and it takes a few moments, but you do eventually see him. It's a vidcom, so you see him. He has his usual sunglasses, and he's standing outside. There's some sunlight coming in, and so you ask him the question. I'm assuming.
so it is Julius.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna just straight up ask him, hey, is Malachi there with you?
You just see him shake his head.
So no. Okay. Do you know where he is for you?
He kind of looks around a little bit, and then you see him kind of step inside. He's been gone for days.
Okay, so he does talk.
That's what you're surprised about.
No. Last
you're
time I
talking.
encountered Julius, he was mute.
To clarify, it's not necessarily that he's mute. It's
He
he's
just doesn't
choosing
talk.
not
Okay,
to talk.
he chose a valid
He just
silence.
doesn't
Okay,
talk.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
He's
I
not
was
very
confused
well.
about. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
That's surprise.
I like to imagine that's your that is Elias's actual reaction.
Wait, you
He's just like,
talk?
holy shit, you can talk? Yo! Yo, he has words. He can say words, bro.
You have a voice?
He just kind of tilts his head at you, just in that kind of like really kind of a look.
I've never heard you talk, so yeah. But no, we found Malachi. He was actually kidnapped.
You kind of see his eyes kind of look up a little bit in thought, and he's kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends you coordinates to Venus.
All right.
And you just kind of you see him kind of like give you like a little bit of a salute, and the comm cuts.
Okay. Well, I guess we're heading to Venus.
Whee!
Venus has a penis.
Okay.
Our comms are interesting to hear.
Well, I mean, we're all probably in like some.
I assume we're in like a fucking a call together. I doubt we're all like. I doubt the rest of us are just kind of like.
I mean, you're all
chilling.
kind of in the room together
Yeah,
at the moment.
It's just
so-
it's just when you're doing comms and stuff, and you hear all this stuff, and you're just sitting there going, "Oh, our comms are interesting." Just the communications between us, and just random talking at moments. We're just sitting here. Huh? This is normal.
Yeah, it's kind of how like a squad would talk.
Yeah, we're just like chill, relax, man. We're like, yep. So we going to Venus? Don't I just put on
Seems that
some new
way.
clothes?
Remy's just kind of off in her own world and thought while the rest of you guys are having this conversation.
So,
I am a bit worried on what Godhand said before, being that we're going to be facing our past soon enough, well, our future selves.
That's a mom, Kara. They want to fucking instill fear as much as they can.
boo.
What if there's a little truth to what he said? You hear Remy quietly kind of say.
Well, we'll just have to sort it when it comes along.
You guys grabbed some of the books you found there, right?
I have some.
Yeah,
I
I
have.
was gonna say.
Do I? Is it? I can't remember. I only picked up the one book. No, I picked up. Yeah, no, I picked up the 2 tomes.
Remy kind of gestures for you to kind of hand them over.
Yeah, so I'll take the books out of the ghost backpack and hand them over.
She grabs them and sets them on the table in front of you guys and opens one up and starts kind of sifting through it. It so far from it looks like a handwritten journal, but there's some very detailed and organized notes in here. It almost looks like it's like a handwritten sort of a
Journal.
manual, kind of. She's sifting through it. She seems like she's familiar with it. She's looking for something specific. I'll have you guys roll a perception check.
My sheet.
Fuck.
I don't wanna.
Not a good one. Not a good roll. Not a good roll.
Okay, maybe I wanna.
Okay. This is fine.
Maybe.
This is fine.
No, I mean two of you at least.
Yeah, 2
Did
you
well.
I
missed.
know,
Yeah.
it was just
We're
more of like,
screwed.
this is fine.
I'm fine with the current situation and events. So the way she's going through these pages, she seems familiar with it. And you're not exactly sure how, but it feels like she might be recognizing this. And I don't know why this is not letting me put the image into the game here. I'm trying to put this in. Roll20 is being a bitch to me right now.
Of course.
When is it not?
Okay, well, I'm just going to put this in the chat here so everyone can see. She stops on a particular page, and there's an image that you're all going to be seeing. There's this large symbol that has a triangle in the center, or not a triangle, but a star in the center of it, with numerous writing and other circles within the sphere itself. In the notes, who among you here reads English?
I have comprehension of the void, so I can read all writing.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Hold on,
because I
what did you
can't.
say it was?
The book is written in English, so I was asking who among you can read it.
I can
And
read it.
yeah, Ash can read it.
Yeah, Ash
Anyone
can
else
read.
can read it?
I was gonna say, isn't common just English?
No, City Common's different.
Yeah. I've been learning, but I haven't done that stuff.
Yeah, because
so.
actually in the book itself, it does actually specify that City Common is different from English.
I know
Makes sense. After a
Spanish.
few hundred years, I feel like language would kind of evolve into something else.
Mhm.
Yeah. Read.
Me no Spanish.
It's just a hodgepodge of a bunch of different languages with no rhyme or reason.
Okay, so then only Ash can read this then?
I think so. Yeah.
Damn, I'm the only
Okay.
literate one here.
Well, no, you're reading this
Yeah,
along with
no, I
Remy,
have-
but
I- yeah.
you two are the only ones who are gonna understand this.
All right.
So underneath this seal that you're seeing here, there's a note that reads Celestial Rage.
Wait, what?
Rage or
Rage.
okay, cool. Steel. Ooh.
A
Very
seal that
spooky.
allows the user to go into an energized rage that pushes the boundaries of physical limitation. And I'm going to say this slowly because I have this written down. I know you guys, some of you might be taking notes.
Wait, I'm supposed to write stuff down?
I'm giving you guys time in case you are.
I'm supposed to take notes.
I'm giving you guys time if you are.
Hey, I was nice enough, Dave, that I put it up on stream for that image. I did that fast. So. Notes? Ha!
Thank you. Thank you.
Taking notes.
That way everybody
This
else
was
can
so-
see it too.
Subjects' reaction time, strength, speed, agility, and stamina are raised to unprecedented levels. This is a one-time use spell, as the amount of stress put onto the body is fatal, and the subject will die after its use. And underneath this, there's a handwritten note that's more cursive and a little more personal. It reads, "The master was right. After combining the energy absorption runes, the amount of energy the user can produce is limitless. It's solely dependent on how much they absorb at the start of the spell. Even if they absorb nothing, the output they generate is doubled if not tripled. Absorbing energy of high-level magic wielders is especially potent. Imagine what they could do if they absorbed 5 or 6 high-level wielders. The power they could wield in the short term could challenge even the gods themselves. I pity the poor soul he intends to use this on. Even if they can bring the body back somehow, the mind is frayed from that much pain and trauma every time it is cast, and the mind will eventually snap. If the master intends to actually use this person as his weapon, he may only have control a handful of times before they may turn on him. I must warn him of this possibility. This spell is an arcane marvel of the most dangerous kind. I have seen armies of undead and angels from the sky, but nothing strikes more fear into my heart than the knowledge that this spell could bring down on the world." Remy's hands are visibly shaking as she's reading this.
Something you know. Feel good, Remy?
Remy?
Sound familiar to you? Or
Remy quietly walks out of the room.
Like in whispered tone. Do any of you know what it said?
I don't read English.
I wasn't writing shit down, so I don't exactly remember anything.
That was a lot to write. I
Oh
couldn't
my
write
God.
everything.
To summarize,
Sorry.
this page references a seal that is labeled Celestial Rage, and it gives its user an unbound rage, but ultimately does kill the user.
Man, that much. Well, part of it.
That's the short version.
You know, you
Yeah. I'll make that image poof.
Yeah, so it's basically just give someone insane amount of power, but they die. I don't know of any instance where this has been used, at least in my experience.
Theo, as this is mentioned, that memory of that vision you have back at the Crucible match comes to mind. You may have seen this in action firsthand, and in fact felt its effects physically on your own body through that vision.
I hmm, I might have seen something that you're describing, though I not exactly in person, but in a vision, I guess you'd say. Wait, was I the one using it or someone else?
No, you were seeing what she was doing through her eyes in this vision, but you were also feeling and experiencing the amount of pain she was going through at the same time. It's like you were experiencing a memory from her.
Remy. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think I might know on what has happened. I'm gonna stand up and go check on Remy.
Good idea.
All right, so where are you going to go search for her?
Where
There would
places I
be the
can't
crew
see.
quarters. I don't have a map for this particular ship, but there would be the crew quarters, the galley, the cargo bay, the bridge, and the observation deck.
I'll check the observation deck.
It's actually a good call because that's where she was.
Yeah, it kind of seemed obvious.
All right, so as you start to approach, you do hear her ghost Sapphire talking to her. Okay, say you're right. What are you planning on doing then with all this? I don't know yet. It's there was truth in what he said. And if this is right, then I'm a living weapon that was made by him. She kind of tilts her head a little bit and notices you're there.
Everything good over here?
She kind of turns and crosses her arms a little bit, and you can see she's visibly upset. Only if you find out that the enemy you've been chasing is the one who turns you into a living weapon, then yeah, I'm great.
Now that isn't exactly how do I put this. What all
That
of what you're made of isn't determined by your outcome.
that seal that you saw in that page,
Uh, hey, sorry to interrupt. I'll be right back in the call here in just a minute.
okay. That seal you saw on the page, I have it.
You haven't.
She starts to undo her chest armor. Don't don't feel weird about this. And she undoes it and turns her back to you, and she pulls her hair out of the way, and you see on her skin that same seal tattooed into her back. I found out the first time it happened. I didn't even know it was there. At first, I thought it was just something I had from my first life, and, well, turns out it was. And it was his fault. She starts putting the armor back on.
Again, that
He
doesn't change the fact of who you are or how you wish to change things.
That's a little bit with what I'm contending with at the moment. Because I don't know how it even starts, how it happens. It just goes black for me, and I don't remember anything until it stops. And then it's slow, and as much as Sapphire puts her best effort into healing me, the body dies faster. And I have to go through it every time.
Actually, with the pang, I'd presume.
She nods at that. It's like feeling every organ in your body explode one by one. And as much as it should kill you in the moment, it feels like it's an eternity. I've died plenty as a guardian, and you eventually brush off death. And for us, it's natural in some ways, but this, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Well,
But in
with
any
being
moment, I'm a time bomb.
you say that you see yourself as a weapon, so then be a weapon, but not a weapon of destruction, but a weapon of salvation. We are guardians for a reason. You nonetheless as well. Which, if anything, be sparse about it, because, as you say, it's painful. So
I can't control it when it happens.
then make sure to have one thing on your mind during it, and with that one thing in mind, it should affect. Even if you lose control, there will only be one thing that will be on your mind, and make sure that it stays on that mind. If you try to think up too many things, it will only blur. You just have one goal, and you're.
She's kind of staring off into the stars as you're talking to her about this.
I felt the pain that you so dread. Although, probably just a phantom sense, you could say. I'll go ahead and uh, put my hand on her shoulder. If you don't wish,
She looks up at you.
if you don't wish for that to happen, then by all means, within my power, I'll make sure it doesn't have to.
She kind of gently like pats your hand. That's sweet of you, Theo, but I think the only way we're going to stop him is for me to do the unthinkable.
Then I'll find another way.
She just kind of smiles a little bit. Thank you. I suppose the others should probably know as well.
And I'm sure they'll be as supportive as I. And who knows? If any of them do step out of line, I'll make sure they get the. I'm sure they'll meet the business end of my hammer.
That's kind of you, Theo, but I can take care of myself, you know that.
Doesn't mean I can't be a gentleman.
Well, you certainly are one at that.
Now then, let's get going, as we do have a journey to complete and a few butts to kick.
She just kind of nods and follows you. So at this point, where do the rest of you guys go?
No, I'm just exploring the ship. I haven't been on this fucker.
So I'm assuming you went to the galley?
Why the galley? What the fuck?
I don't know, food. You
mean, I
just
could
got
have.
you kind of
Racist.
got burned out after, you know, a combat that you were forced into, and you were possibly electrically tortured for who knows how long. You're probably a little famished.
Yeah, possibly.
Just a tiny bit peckish.
Where were we when we were looking at
I mean, I'm
stuff?
just assuming, but you tell me.
Wherever we
Probably.
were at,
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say where.
I'm just exploring, so randomly somewhere in the ship, roll a dice and see where I end up.
I like that. Yeah, I'll figure out. Yeah, screw it. You're in the engine room.
Well, while you're exploring, I will ask: have you done anything to clean up your appearance?
Hold on.
Oh,
What did
God.
you say?
Have you done anything to clean up your appearance?
I mean, I probably would have. Unless I'm standing there looking like some disheveled villain.
I mean, I'm asking you, is that what you like? You tell me. What do you go do? Do you go wash up and clean yourself up?
Yeah, I go get myself cleaned up first.
All right, there you go.
By the way, who the hell is Dragon Shinobi?
Abibaha.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Baja.
okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Transformer player. I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, where were we when we read or that book was being read at the time again? I kind of lost.
So you guys were back in the kind of
This is a
cargo bay, like nearby engineering.
I'm just gonna take some of the and kind of be laying across the cargo containers with my feet up. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Just gonna be relaxing.
Okay. And so Elias went to go get himself cleaned up. Eros is chilling on a
Yeah,
box.
I went to go get food.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
relaxed.
You're off. You're out getting a meal and getting refreshed. So, Ash, what are you doing?
I'd like to go through the books a bit more, see what else is in there.
Sure. So you sift through more of the book. There are mentions of other spells and other seals of old arcana. A lot of this doesn't seem to be pertaining to anything in particular. Like there's mentions here of magical seals that ward off spirits. There's seals that help increase growth in plants. There's various
Fertility.
other, fertility. There's various other seals and other types of other magics mentioned, but nothing else in particular really stands out.
Nothing else super. Nothing
You
else
are
like
you're seeing some
super
correlation
interesting
between
or.
the hive magics that you've learned over
Mhm.
your years of experience and the old arcana, and you're seeing the
Mhm.
similarities. Like they do use a lot of runes and symbology in a lot of their magic usage. So it's true for old human magic it is as it is for hive magic.
I mostly just wanted to see if there was anything else that was like groundbreaking like this thing was, or
I
anything
mean
else kind
that
of nuts.
that kind of note there, like in itself, of the magic is similar. Like old human magic, like this is stuff that existed well before the golden age. Like a lot of this stuff has been lost to time. This is new knowledge for you that you're just like, oh, humans had magic before the traveler, before the golden age, before all this. Oh, they had like these different types of spells that are similar to hive spells in that they use symbology and that they use seals to create various types of spells. So like that in itself is a revelation to you.
Uh, well then, I'm trying to figure out like I don't know because I was
Are you
is
looking
it
for something specific?
I was looking for I was honestly just looking for more runes that have like I guess kind of similar, not really similar effect, but like something like I guess powerful ones, I guess. Just like stuff that kind of is more than just like it does this or like it makes this better, it makes this something.
So
Like
something
with
like
the
gives boost towards like your strength or whatever.
yeah,
Ah,
Like a
so
different
you
man.
okay,
yeah, if
so
there's
you
anything we can use to like make ourselves, and then also like if there's any mention of how exactly these are cast, because I feel like if I am able to actually, I feel like if I'm able to actually like use these to help us in like combat and things, it would not be a bad idea.
So I will say that there are mentions of certain spells that would be beneficial. You do see mentions of stuff like mage armor, wards, blade wards. There are certain spells in here, but as far as any mentions into casting, they talk about a power known as mana, and you've never heard of what this power is. You don't even
And
know how to.
there's no information in the book about what it is.
Nope, it's the book assumes that you already have
Okay.
this knowledge of what mana is. So it talks about mana in the sense that this is an energy pool that you derive a lot of this from. But you yourself, you have the power of light,
Yeah.
and you don't understand if they even correlate to one another. It's you, it's a learning experience in the fact that it's a new magic source that had its own power, but you have no idea if you have it, if you can tap into it, or if it's something specific to us like
Well,
humans.
there is only one way to find out. Uh, I guess I'll see if I can find like a somewhat minor spell, something that just like makes like pretty lights or something like that, or see if I can find something like that, and then maybe see if I can cast it. Or
Okay,
like
so
try to.
you want to try and do dancing lights?
Yes.
Okay. That's a cantrip, isn't it? Or is that a spell? I'm double checking. It's a cantrip. Okay. So you're reading through what's calling for you to do and to create dancing lights. I'm going to have you roll. Uh, what should I have you roll? I'm gonna have you roll an Arcana.
Oh shit. This will be interesting. Oh no! God damn it. 4.
You're kind of waving your hands around in these gestures that it mentions, but nothing is happening.
I guess I'm gonna have to do more research, see if I can find
Just-
anything about the ways to cast spells, because obviously these books are like not for like advanced, but like, you know, they're not entry level. They already
Yeah,
assume you have
these are
prior
like.
knowledge, so I would need to find something that has the
I just-
basics.
I just
Mhm.
walk in and see him like waving his
Yes.
hands around.
Yeah, you see him
Waving.
just kind of like doing this like little waving. He's just like waving his hands like. Ugh.
Are you trying to do some form of training I don't know?
I'm trying to cast one of these spells, but
Where are you
It's not
doing this at
working.
again?
You mean-
Just curious.
You mean in the book I can't read?
Like,
I mean, yeah, you guys
do
should still be in the cargo bay if you.
Yeah,
no,
no,
I'm
I'm
just
still in the
sitting there
cargo
laying
bay.
back across these containers looking over like, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, Remy and Theo will be walking down at this point, and they just see you kind of doing this. Like,
Everyone's just seeing Ash fucking waving her hands around.
And I'm just sitting back there and I just shrug like, I don't know what's going on. I just put my head back for a moment. I'm just like, whatever.
You know, Ash,
Just go
Ash
magic.
just sits down and just starts reading again to try and see if there's if she can figure out why it didn't work. Does not
Man.
even give a shit about the fact that everyone else thinks she's insane.
Man. It seems like I'm the only one. I'm the only normal one, and I had an identity crisis.
And I'm just sitting back going, whatever. I don't.
Remy just kind of says to you, Theo, softly, and I thought I had a lot of problems.
You do have a lot of problems.
You are not there. You shut the fuck up.
Yes. None of us are there for it. And I'm just sitting there like, whatever. I'm just sitting in the room chilling.
I mean,
don't
I
care
will
what's going
have
on.
Ash and Uros roll perceptions to see if they heard her say that.
I mean, I don't think I would have. She was
perception
up on
17.
Do
I
you
mean,
want?
if it's not a loud fucking
Mhm.
cargo room, it's gonna
Yeah, I
be
mean,
heard.
it's a
I'll-
large cargo
I'll-
room.
No, I
I'll,
assume no, but I would assume there's not a lot of like
I'll roll for it,
noise,
but I really,
considering that I am
I'll,
reading.
yeah, I'll
and
roll
Uros
for
is
it.
just sitting somewhere.
Ash.
Now, I'm just right like nearby, just laying on cargo containers.
I
like,
rolled
Mhm.
perception.
I
Ash,
would have
here-
tried to find Uros and fucking somebody else after I got food.
yeah, I'm
So
just,
Ash, you're keenly aware that everyone is kind of looking at you funny, and you kind of heard Remy's little quip.
I'm missing something clearly in these. I wanted to see if I could maybe cast some of these spells, because
Them-
could be useful in future.
I'm like, you want me to try?
Obviously, not
Remy's walking
working.
back over to you guys, and she looks over to you, Ash. I'd be very careful with that thing.
I wasn't trying to do anything insane. It was just some lights. It's not like
Lights
I'm not
turns into
blowing
nuclear
things
bomb.
up. I'm not blowing things up just yet.
I mean, if I could even read it, I'd probably be interested.
I was gonna say that's what they all say, and then the fucking ships exploded into the next dimension.
I mean, I will
Ooh.
start if I figure out how to start casting spells. I will start blowing shit up. But for the moment,
Oh, let me try one then. Be my luck. Uh-oh.
All right, so Elias has joined up with the team at this point now too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
After I
that's why I
got
was
food
asking.
and a drink, I would have just came up and joined them.
Hey, Elias, you want to try this?
I'm just still
Well, yeah,
laying
no,
there
we're
We're giving you
listening.
time to eat though too, so you're stepping away for a
But no,
tea.
I would have fucking brought it with me. Fuck that. I ain't sitting in a fucking galley full of people I don't know.
I'm just sitting there laying back. Hey, Elias, what did you get? It smells good.
I just offer him half of like a sandwich.
Oh, thanks. I'm just sitting there laying back, move my feet so if you want to sit down. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, not care. It's like, whatever. Just don't blow me up.
So these spells you mentioned, how exactly do they work?
That is what I'm trying to find out. I'm seeing mentions to an energy source called mana, but I'm not seeing much about how exactly casting works or anything like that. These were clearly for people who had who had passing knowledge of magic.
Is mana like a battery or something?
I think it's I think it's like our light. It's an analogy could be drawn. It's the power that you draw from. So you have you have energy that you draw from to cast spells.
Yeah,
Just
Elias.
like we
100
draw from
glimmer,
the
they
light
blow us
to
up.
use our abilities.
DB kind of bonks you on the head, Uros. Hey, listen, they're saying some important stuff here.
Yeah, whatever. I can hear them just fine.
Clearly, it's a bit more versatile than what we have, but you know, it could be
Yeah.
helpful to at least understand how this works.
Then wouldn't it make sense for one of the fleshies to be able to use mana more since they're more connected towards nature than
I mean,
machine?
we can have them try it. I can translate for them, and then they can try if they would like.
Fuck it, I'll give it a
Which is
try.
real. Alright, so
Can you even translate this?
I can't speak it, but I can read it.
I like how you said fleshies, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Rude.
I mean, am I
Damn,
wrong?
fleshies. I mean, yeah, no, you are flesh.
All
You
right,
are made of
clankers.
flesh. God damn!
Look at tin cans, don't start.
At this very moment.
You started
Starts
it.
a
Anyway.
race war.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, no, it's literally just, I'm gonna get racist.
I said fleshies because it's
Uh,
including Uros.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, what? Oh, I see how it
And
is.
technically,
Now,
we are all human. Like,
Well,
we
once
are all
human.
human. Well, like in like
We're all
the
like,
as in like an umbrella term.
Humanoid.
We all came from the same
Humanoid,
place, even though
yeah.
the rest of us have kind of
you came from a
Yeah,
humanoid
you mean
consciousness,
humanoid.
I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Elias, would you like to try?
Yeah.
All
I'll-
right.
This
I'll say screw it
conversation
and give it
went.
a fucking whirl.
So I'll explain. I'll explain like how exactly, or I'll explain what like the like prep, I guess, for the spell. The same one I was trying to cast, I guess.
Okay, I'll have you roll Arcana for me, Elias.
Let me get to it. Where is Arcana? There it is. 13.
So you're doing the same kind of hand gestures that are required for dancing lights.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a couple of tries, but you end up creating an electrical spark.
Is this distinguishable from his actual like arc energy, or is it just like, could we confuse them basically?
So with your knowledge of magic in general as a warlock, you can sort of tell that what he did there was likely an effect from his light. But
Okay.
if it seemed to correlate into that cantrip of dancing lights, you're not entirely sure. Because you still haven't seen it in action yourself, so you don't know if what he did
I guess I'm looking
was
for something.
an accident or if it was something that might be linked.
I guess we're looking for something a bit more.
Could I be sitting there waving my hands and say the same thing and see what happens? But I'm just laying back with my head, eyes closed.
Can we please have him roll Arcana to see if he
You
accidentally
guys aren't
gets it
paying
right?
attention.
Please, please. I would
Okay,
love to
do
see
it. You know what?
Roll Arcana.
Let's do it. Roll.
Roll Arcana, Rose. If he gets
Give me
it,
a
if he
second.
passes the fucking check, that'll be so goddamn funny.
I don't think it will, but it's hilarious to watch
Let's
this. It's
see,
just
let's
me
see,
laying back,
Let us see.
eyes closed and everything, and I'm just like blah 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 blah.
You're gonna have to give me a
Damn
minute.
it! Damn it!
Go ahead. We're good.
No, it doesn't work. It didn't work.
Just
17.
Just try again.
So, Uros, you're doing these hand gestures just like the others. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm just mockingly saying the same thing, doing these just for fun. Don't like
It's
that.
just
Elias,
three idiots
you're-
throwing their hands around,
You try it again.
chanting.
It seems to work a little better, at least it feels like it does. You create another little lightning spark. But it kind of like a light bulb in like popping, like just
Mhm.
you're just creating like a little electrical spark.
Just turn my head. Ooh,
It's
fireworks.
difficult to figure out if it's his light. I may have to. It may have been a bad idea.
Yeah,
to
you're
have
you're
him use
experimenting with
something-
a magical
the
force
lightning,
you've
yeah.
known nothing about. So like this could take
I don't know what changes.
this
I
could
don't know
take
what the-
several attempts. It could take, a lot of time of trying to understand, like I said, something you've
Mhm.
never heard of before.
I'm trying to think if like I can. I don't know. I don't know D&D spells all that well, so I'm trying to figure out if there's like. I'm trying to think of like a thing that may exist.
Now I want to try again.
Because I
That's
need to.
what
I need to
have.
think of. I need to find something that we 100% cannot confuse with our own light. Because like, Elias may have just done it, but it could have also just been him subconsciously using arc energy, because that would achieve the same result or like a similar result. So we don't know which it was.
Well, if that's the case,
So-
I don't throw sparks. I throw flame sometimes, just with the blade. Do you
I
want me to
mean-
try again? But seriously,
Go for it.
I'll try.
I guess I will try again as well.
So I'll sit there and
Remy will
seriously
just
sit
kind
up.
of lean on the boxes next to you, Eros, and she's just kind of leaning and just watching you guys.
So I said, Eurus is going to sit up. He's going to be a little more serious. It's like, okay, let's try this again, seriously. And it's like, okay, what do I need to do again? And I'm just following the exact same pattern and saying exactly the same thing. And it's like, okay, now he's going to really try it. Let's see what happens. Nope,
9.
nothing. I'm not getting it.
I'll have Ash try again as well, just in case. 20.
Oh, shit.
I admire the persistence.
we were just like, we're gonna get this, damn it.
I hadn't
I
even
like
bothered
I
to
just
why
kicked-
is this?
I
Why
just
is
kick
this
back
how
and
it
sit back
always
again.
ends up? It always ends up with like me, Oros, and Elias doing something stupid, while Theo just sits in the back shaking his head like a disapproving parent.
Yeah, because fucking Theo doesn't experiment at all. He's the safe route.
Yeah,
It was
It's more of-
boring.
I just sit
It's
back.
more of
I'm like, whatever.
Why should I bother when I know it's going to be the same outcome?
How about you try it?
I mean, Ash did try again, and I rolled a 20, so
Yep.
I may have
So
done it.
as
I don't
as you
have
make
one, so-
another attempt, kind of taking a little bit of note from Elias, like you get another shot and you feel like the motions are perfect. Like you're hitting the hand motions that you're needing to do. And in doing so, you create a tiny little void orb for just a moment, and then it pops like a balloon, just it's gone.
I would
Cool.
say think of it like a rusty pipe that's
don't
been
know.
blocked up for a while.
You're-
Feels like-
You're
yeah,
getting
that may be similar.
you're learning from the experiences. Like you're
Yeah.
getting something from it, but you're not
Mhm.
entirely sure.
Does it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I was just saying you're not entirely sure where, or like a lot of this is. Like you're experiencing, like again, you're experimenting with magical stuff you've never worked with, so you could be at this for a very long time for all you know.
Did the when I made the void orb, did it feel any different than when I was using my light, or was it just
Nope.
Because I imagine there must be
You're-
something to it. Feeling
you're-
different.
You're using your light as
Oh, I
because
see.
that's the
Okay,
only
yeah.
energy you know
Fair
how to
enough.
tap into.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So something. I don't want to give up on this. I'm gonna. I will try to do some research, see if I can figure out if anything in our time, if there's anywhere in our time that could have more information about it. I imagine something must have survived.
What if it needs another component,
Well, I imagine there's
like
something about
like
there has
something
to
to send
be
it through, for example?
maybe, but there's also the matter of mana, which is a energy I simply don't know anything about. I know what it's used for, but I don't know how to use it, if we even are capable of using it. If it's something that people have like innately, do we have that, or is it, or was it, or did it like, I guess, fade from humanity as they went on, or like did me becoming an exo make sever my connection to it, or maybe did the light expel mana from me? There's a lot of different if I simply can't access the power, there's a ton of different explanations, but I would like to try to access it if I can figure out how.
I would say while she's going on this tirade, I'm trying it again.
Let's try. Just in
Go
the
ahead.
background.
That's a
One more
nat
time.
He just now that's an explosion. He just accidentally chaos reaches.
one.
You know, so
You gave him my idea.
Oh my
no.
god.
Who's standing in front of me? Am I looking at
I don't think
Earth
anybody's
sitting on his
standing
box?
I'm like sitting.
I
I'm laying
imagine that,
back
like,
on it like it's a bed almost because like
because
I
what I
moved my
imagine is
feet.
like I'm standing next to like a box with a book on it. You're behind me, and then like you're like behind me facing away from the door because you just walked up. You didn't actually turn
So
any
you
direction.
know, every once in a while when you spark a lighter and it gives like just a little like puff of smoke.
Yeah, that happened with his.
That's literally what you see Elias do. Like he tries it again, and he's kind of got. He feels like he's got the gesture down, but when he does it, just
Mm,
You see, that's kind of why I don't want to test.
I don't know. I feel like if we had access to the corridors of time again, it could be interesting to go back to when this book was written to see if we can figure that out. But
I mean, who says we
I would
don't
rather
have
not.
access?
I'd rather not travel through time for my own personal inquiries. I'd rather not drag all of you with me
If
for my own
anything,
personal inquiries, and I don't think it would be a good idea for us to separate for that long.
if anything,
Especially if
just
God
do a
hand
bit
was
more
so
research on
crazy.
it and see if you're even capable of using it.
Yeah,
But-
I'll
I
I'll
mean,
have a-
clearly
I'll
we're
try to
capable
see
of
this
using
again.
it if we can produce something.
Well,
you
that
gotta
was with
think of
our
it.
light. That was with our light. It's not like we haven't been tapping into the power because I created something of void. You created something of arc. I think we're just subconsciously tapping into our own light to get our desired results.
And you could
I'm
also
after
think about it
something-
like this. What if mana is just the light?
I mean, it could be, but it existed. But clearly, it existed before before we even knew about the traveler.
They're all
Yeah.
talking
Before the
seriously.
traveler
Light
even
existed in
arrived
memoriam.
in our system.
I'm just sitting back there with my hands
So the
flipping around
question
still,
is, would they have
listening
enough
to him.
like in reserve enough of the light in reserve when the traveler wasn't even in contact with them?
The
Because
easy way to put
humanity
it is
now is obviously one with the light. They all have trace of the light inside of them. But when the traveler isn't, if the traveler had never even interacted with humanity, would we have enough light to use as energy for? Because this spell is something small. I imagine there is much more like powerful magics hidden away in some other books or even in one of these that I just didn't
So, this is a
look
question for
at.
the DM because this is going to be his own fucking choice on this.
Mhm.
How much of humanity is alive in numbers wise?
It's a pretty small amount because the last city.
Millions, billions. That's what I'm looking at.
I
I've only
mean,
imagined
if we're
thousands.
talking global population, it's in the millions.
Okay. So think of it like this. If magic is something that is intrinsic to humanity, The more people it is, it's spread more wide. That's why a lot of people during the Golden Age couldn't access Arc, Nova, Solar, or Void, Jesus, and all this because it was so spread out that nobody could use it. But now that humanity's populace has been reduced to millions, or even that few bit, it's more thickened up in that group, giving us
I mean,
access to it. Because you got to think about it. Guardians didn't show up in the Golden Age, but as soon as most of the humanity was wiped out, Guardians showed up and they were able to use this magic.
to be fair, uh, non-guardians can't really use the light in the same way we can, and we were brought back by ghosts, which
But you,
are literally made of pieces of the Traveler. The Traveler
but if you
used pieces
also
of
look back,
itself,
but if
so
you
it's
also
not
look
like
at,
it's
but if
not
you,
like intrinsic energy. It's like the Traveler personally filling us with the light.
but you also got to look back at medieval times. There were only a select few that could use magic, aka wizards, magicians, and shit like this, in its own little fantasy timeline. Yeah, it's lost in mythology, but what if it's literally the same principle as what we're doing?
I mean, maybe, but I imagine it's not the same exact source of energy as ours.
Never
Because
know.
again, our energy comes from our powers come from the Traveler, and
But we don't know where the Traveler's power comes from.
thousands of years before the Traveler. Okay,
I'm just gonna head to the bridge
out
and
out
get
of
ready to
out of the
get
game.
Malachi
At this point,
treatment.
I don't think humanity
So-
knows about like the Gardener and Winnower
Before
thing.
you
It's
go,
just
Theo.
the Traveler exists,
Yeah.
right?
Theo, Uros, I want you two to make perception checks while these two are having the conversation.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh.
What time?
All right, Theo, you've kind of turned away. You're starting to head off to the bridge. Uros, as these two are kind of locked in their conversation over here, you kind of see a little light coming down from where Remy is. And as you kind of peek over, you kind of see she's got her hands cupped and she's produced a tiny little light. And it's sitting there a bit like a candle flame.
Yep.
Hmm. Seems like somebody's got the something going. I'm not
She
saying it super
snaps her
loud.
hands closed and immediately just like looks up at you.
I didn't say it loud either because I was just like, I figured she's close
Okay.
enough that she would hear me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as soon as she heard she snapped her hands closed.
Just tap her on the shoulder. It's okay. It's like, play it down.
She's kind of looks up at you and just like, you don't know the whole thing.
Care to tell me? Don't have to. I kind of start
Well,
walking
I
toward
can.
away a bit, and I stop. And I'm just like, I'm gonna go up and find a nice place just to hang out. These two down here are arguing too much, so. And it kind of nods, like, "Come on."
Remy will follow you, and so you two will continue your studies into the old arcana.
Yeah, because we're warlocks. We talk about
Exactly.
things.
Yeah. So yeah,
busy.
you two are
Whatever.
doing
We are
your
wizards.
doing your wizard warlock thing. So
I find
you
that
guys are.
observation deck. You said.
Yeah,
Does it-
there
does
is an
it- what's-
observation deck.
Does it have some nice chairs or anything, or some decent seating? You know.
There are some decent, comfortable chairs up there.
Okay, I'm gonna find one, and I'm just gonna sit down in it, put my feet up a bit, invite her to sit in one of the other chairs. It's like, have a seat. We got a nice view of the outside, so we got space flying by.
She sits down in one of the chairs and she sits Indian style, just kind of gets her legs crossed and just I where do I even start? That seal that you saw me kind of react to earlier, there's good reason for that.
Okay.
I just look around the room. Did anybody pick up the crown that was around my head?
In the crown that was shattered.
Yeah,
That's what I
like
was
the
thinking.
shards of it to see what it was made of.
I don't think we did.
No, no
Nope.
one grabbed it.
No, I didn't.
That would have been good to have to learn what the hell it was made of.
Remy,
Atomic bombs.
Well, let me just run back and get it for you.
Okay, yeah. Just casually opens a portal into time.
But yeah, no.
Actually goes back in time
No,
to go
but-
grab a single thing.
I'm sitting there. I have my head kind of back, but I'm kind of looking at the ceiling and out the window. It's like, so what's on your mind?
Well, the revelation that I'm a weapon that was made by God Hand and used the old arcana to do it. So,
Weapons, huh?
yeah, I mean, about as well as you could expect. And she just
Oh.
kind of stares off out into space.
So, what happens with this weapon that you are?
She kind of brings her knees up to her chest and she's wrapped her arms around her legs.
Not bad, huh? Just rocking in the chair.
First time it happened was during the Red War. I never experienced anything like it before. We all lost our light. The Cabal had encased the Traveler in a cage that blocked all of her light. And I was helping people out inside the city escape just before the last offensive. And well, to make a long story short, I nearly died getting those people out. And in that process, I don't really remember much of what happened. All I remember seeing was the trail of Cabal bodies I left in my wake and the nightmarish, excruciating pain I had to endure at the end of it.
So you suffer every time this happens.
It's happened twice in my recollection, and what it says in the book, it strikes me as incredibly true, because pain that you do experience at the end of it, if you were to bring someone back any other way, they might be broken by the experience. But we're guardians. We deal with death all the time, except this is the worst kind of death.
Because it's painful.
She nods at you slowly.
Some death is painful. But in your case, when was the first time you noticed you could really, like, how did you notice this before? Other than that first time? Was that it?
It was the Red War, and then one other time.
So you don't remember anything in between when that happens?
I remember everything leading up to it. I remember just the red. And then then I just come to and I see what I did, and I'm I've been called brutal in what I can do with my scythe, but what I did to those cabal,
I'd call that, in a way, would be brutal. But what you do with your scythe, that is efficient and effective. There is a difference. And besides that, when you have this happen, what is the feeling you had right before you don't remember anything?
fear.
Hmm. Sounds like
During the
something.
Red War, like I said, we lost our light, and I lost a lot of friends to that war, and because many of those guardians couldn't be resurrected without their light. And when faced with my own mortality, something inside me just snapped.
At the moment that fear takes over, you do anything to sometimes survive. You either accept it or you fight. And in your case, whatever has happened, it takes over and fights for you in some ways. It relies on your fear to do it, though. That moment that you lose control of everything. It's hard.
I read what those notes said about this seal, and it's on my body.
Kind of.
So I know what it says is true, and
It's on your body?
she nods slowly.
When you did the light in the cargo bay, what were you thinking when you got it to happen?
I was thinking back to, well, watching those two try it. I don't know, it looked familiar, but I can't quite place it.
How did you feel?
Um, she kind of looks down at her hands a little bit as you ask her that. I felt calm.
Nami, I want you to relax again and be calm. You're safe here. I want you to try it again. Nobody else is here, just me. And I want you to try it again. Make the lights dance.
All right. She kind of gets back into an Indian sitting position, and she closes her eyes, and she cups her hands as she had before, and she kind of focuses for a moment. And after about a minute passes, you start to see forming in her hands a small light. And it's kind of circling in the cup of her hand. And after a few seconds, you start to see a second one. And then a third one. They're just slowly just dancing in her hand.
No, see, you have control when you're calm. What happens with the other? That is fear. This is different. I'm not pushing you to do it. You are doing that all on your own. I may have asked you to do it, but you did it, not me. Everybody else has their thing they're trying to do. But I won't say anything. That's up to you to tell everyone else.
She's staring into these lights. Or else that castle was meant for me.
How do you mean?
That room we found Malachi in. Those symbols you saw on the floor.
Yes.
She turns her back to you and she starts to unclasp her armor. And she exposes her back and she pulls her hair to her front, and you see tattooed on her back that same seal that you saw in the book.
Oh,
I lean forward and get a better look at it. So you have the same seal that's in there on that book. And I take and cover her back up and I like go ahead and
She
gesture.
brings her hair back and
Yeah.
clasps her armor back on.
Do you ever remember being there to have that done?
Not until it was shown to me. And she turns back to you. When we all had visions with God Hand, what did he show you?
I gotta remember what he showed me. I have it written, but I don't remember where it's at. What?
Above game, he basically showed all of you different versions of your death, but you never. It was never mentioned what Remy saw.
Yeah, yeah. It just mentions how I'm, and shows how I die.
He showed me a lot more. He showed me where this came from and how it was directed at his hand.
Did he give an indication why he did that to you?
Because he means to destroy you from within.
Me? Or
All
everything?
of you.
In the way he's already destroyed some of me within. But I am here still. That's different. If he wishes to destroy, well, then we have to try to stop him. But for you, what does this give him an advantage in some way?
Remy's visibly fighting internally with what she wants to say. I was made to bring all of you down from within.
So you're saying that you are a trap within, or at least a bomb waiting to go off, correct?
She nods slowly at that, and she's looking down.
And you believe this?
You couldn't read what was on that book, could you?
No. I admit I am not the brightest here. I don't have all the information.
She
but
just comes over and stops you. Just, it's fine. The short version of it is, yeah, that's exactly what I am. Is I'm a ticking time bomb that if I absorb your lights, she starts to shake her head.
I just put my hand on her shoulder, on both shoulders, both my hands. You have a choice. You either fight it or let it happen. I can't tell you to do that. That is up to you. But you have our support. You know that.
I know, and Theo said as much as well, but God, or else I wish I could tell you everything, but
I just stop her and don't. Ever since I've been brought back, I still don't know sometimes what I'm doing. And right now, you all have more knowledge than I do, and I'm still trying to figure this out. And I still have that busted hand cannon, the one that when I was resurrected is still on me. I remember it. I pull it out. I still have this. I don't even know what this means. But I know I must have done something.
she gently lifts it from your hand and examines it. Oh, it's old, but it's a beautiful hand cannon.
It was. I haven't bothered to fix it or anything.
Oh, it's certainly ornate. I'm assuming awoken.
Maybe. I really don't know. I just know it was on me when I was brought back by DB.
She gently hands it back to you. A relic from your past. From, I'm assuming, your first life.
Most likely. Sometimes I want to know what kind of person I was. But then I don't want to find out if I was a horrible person. So I just leave it as a memory of when I was reborn, in a sense. And I put it away back. So
Remy kind of trails off in thought to that, and just she'll ask you, if you were a bad person in your first life and you learned about it, do you think it would change you?
yes, but for the better, I hope. So I understand that I am not that person anymore. I am this person now. I am this One standing in front of you, trying to help you understand that you are not a weapon. Somebody can make you that, but you have a choice. And you just showed that you can control somewhat, and you made them dance. You made those lights dance.
She just kind of gently shakes her head a little bit. What they're studying is, well, the basics of Arcana. I know more about my first life now.
You're thinking you're from that time?
She looks down a little bit. I'm thinking I did some bad things in my first life that may have led to this moment. And while I'm not necessarily regretful of them, I'm more worried of the ultimate outcome at this point.
Again, you have choice. But that was your past. You learned from that. You don't seem like the person who would do those things. That sounds like another person. You're not that same person anymore. And you're not alone.
I know. But when the time comes, will you trust in me?
I've trusted you this far, and I will trust you further.
She kind of leans over and just gives you a hug.
Just give her a hug back. Give me softy again. It'll be okay, little one.
I'm scared for all of you.
I just pat her head. What will be, will be. But we're gonna fight like hell, you know that.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
As long as we're a team and we stick together, we'll be all right.
She kind of just rests comfortably for a moment. And then she'll look back up at you. Well, I guess what are we gonna do now?
Well, let's hope those two don't blow up the ship.
I don't know if they're going to understand all the Arcana, if I'm being honest.
Mm,
It's
I just rolled to see if we blew apart the compartment.
there's some strange rumblings and electrical noises coming from the back cargo bay, but nothing's blown up.
just kind of look around like, yeah, close enough to blow up. Yes. You want to get something to eat, Remy? We've had a bit of a trip, so I'm gonna go grab some food.
Sure, I'd love some.
Let's go grab something while those jokers down there have fun.
So while you two go off to eat, You two. So since the change of course to Venus, there is a little bit more time going to be in the ship. But you are headed that way, so you guys are
Oh
still
God, why are
studying
you
the
doing
old
that?
Arcana.
We need to fucking drop off fucking Malachi first.
We should
Julius is telling you to bring him to Venus.
Yeah, where do you
Oh,
think we're
yeah.
going?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah,
a
it's just
drive-by.
Venus is further out, so instead of being an hour, it's going to be a little bit longer because you're traveling further out. So.
Okay, we're doing a
Venus
drive-by.
has a penis.
We're gonna stick him in a container and shove him out and watch him launching down
We're
the.
gonna fire him out.
Tuck and roll, Grandpa. Tuck and roll.
Yeah.
He's like bleeding out, and we're just like, yeah, fuck it. I'll send it.
It's just like dumping a body bag on the side of the road.
I know where I'm going right after checking up on Malachi.
Oh my god.
What, an oil bath?
Fucking making sure you guys don't blow up the ship.
We're not going to blow the ship. We can barely fucking use any of these spells.
I mean, most we can do is just push something.
And even
Come on.
then, it may just be us using our light.
Come across
Until
the
you have
comms.
until you have a massive misfire.
Yeah.
Come across the comms.
You know what? Let's
Guys,
find the
it's
most
coming. It's
dangerous
coming.
spell in this book, and then try
I'd
it.
rather not.
I'm gonna search for the book.
I'm gonna touch it.
Well, you can't read it. I
Ghost, translate.
I don't think your ghost can read it either. I'm the only one. I think me and Remy are the only
Paradox
No, our ghost
can
ones.
Paradox
Yeah,
can
our
read, but
ghost
he,
can.
he's
Okay.
questioning whether he should translate it
Do
for
not.
you.
Actually,
I'm
Ghosts,
your
just shake
guardian.
your head. Do not.
ghosts are able
Do
to
not.
understand all languages.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
God.
ghost can read it. He's just questioning
However-
if he should relay this information.
However,
As you
ghosts
shake
have
your head,
common
like, do not.
sense.
Do it.
Do not. Do not
do it.
read.
Do it. Come on.
Do not tell him about what. Don't tell him what this.
If
what
you
this
don't, I'll go
is.
find a random ghost that will.
Roll another
Sure,
D100 for
okay.
me.
Roll another D100.
Oh god damn! He's gonna blow us up. He's gonna kill
98.
us all.
Hmm. So Paradox is reluctantly relaying some information to you, and he's giving you information on a spell.
What is it supposed to do? That's the first thing I need to know.
So you don't exactly know the nature of the spell, but he's relaying something to you called prestidigitation.
That's a fun word.
I would kind of know what that word means.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at him and go, fuck you.
Paradox is like, I'm not giving you the most dangerous
No,
spell
I'm-
in this book.
No,
Do it. You know you want to.
No,
You're as chaotic as me.
absolutely not.
Elias, let's not play with. Let's try not to play with fire
Alright,
until
well,
we're on
I'm gonna-
solid ground.
I'm going to
Like,
try the prestidigitation. See if I
When
can
we
clean
go to
myself
Earth,
up.
we can do anything we want because a big crater in the planet won't really mean much. If we blow a hole in the ship, we're fucking dead.
Okay, but I'm going to try prestidigitation.
This is why
on me.
this is why Paradox is giving him probably one of the least dangerous spells instead of the most dangerous spell,
It's literally just
and
magic
giving him
tricks.
prestidigitation.
It's literally
Well,
just
I'm going to
magic
fucking
tricks.
try it.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, roll Arcana.
Give me 1 second. 9.
So you know what prestidigitation does, yes?
Yeah, you can clean up yourself.
Well, there's other actions you can do with it too.
Yeah, there's quite a few things, but the most basic and one that everybody fucking uses it for is, oh, I'm dirty, let me clean myself.
Okay, so well, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is like, if in
Yeah,
your
I'm
attempt
gonna
to do this,
attempt
what
to
do you
clean
try?
myself up.
Okay. So you're not exactly sure how it works, but you're kind of following the instruction and kind of like waving your hands over your chest a little bit, trying to like clean the dirt off your jacket,
Mhm.
and nothing's happening.
I'm gonna keep studying it if y'all aren't, so.
Well, I'm gonna keep studying it.
So yeah,
obviously.
you guys are just watching Elias just kind of like move his hands just up and down over like his chest, and he's just like trying to clean the dirt off himself, and nothing is happening.
I can always roll again.
All right, so Theo, you've gone to go and check on Malachi, and at the moment, he is asleep still. The doctors around him are working on him, but he's in stable condition, but he's pretty much passed out.
There have been no problems.
One of the meds looks over to you. Oh no, he's stable, but his body is a whole nother matter. The this little woman kind of walks over. She's got her hair. It's a very dark hair. It's kind of pulled back in tight bun. Walks up to you. He's had some very serious injuries. I've counted. He's suffered over 80 broken bones, several contusions, and some of these broken bones were healed and rebroken.
I kind of get a feeling of that from certain someone.
What they did to him was beyond monstrous. It's amazing he's in the condition he's in, and he's still alive. We'll get him everything that we can to keep him comfortable. But in the meantime, I was told we're going to Venus, right?
Yes, we were just given coordinates on where I need to go.
Well, hopefully they have some better medical experts wherever you guys are going, because I'm only able to do so much, and I can keep him comfortable, but he's hanging on by a thread.
Well, just keep making sure that he's still breathing at most.
Oh, we're doing what we can over here, and like I say, he's comfortable and he's stable. And if there's any
Healing.
changes, we will let you know, though.
All right, continue doing a good work then.
She nods and goes back to her work.
I'm guessing by this point I would feel the shake from whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah, from the earlier one, yeah, it's just kind of, you're hearing the noise coming from down the hall from the cargo bay. There's not necessarily like a shake in the ship per se.
It's more of sounds,
Yeah.
worrisome sounds.
Sounds you know of two troublesome boys.
Oh crap, Dad's coming. Run!
I have to go make sure that two particular people are going
Wait,
to
isn't
try and
Ash
destroy
female?
something.
Ash is female, yeah.
I know, but I'm just referring to you above game.
Okay.
I
The
gotta go make
troublesome
sure.
boys.
I gotta go make sure two people aren't trying to make a mess for people that work here.
That would be nice. I'm
As
not
I'm
exactly
gonna,
sure what they're doing back there, but it's kind of loud.
as I'm just gonna go ahead and calmly exit the room, wait for the door to close, and then more go into a sprint walk.
Okay, so you're power walking and just.
Yeah.
And I'm
He's making his
assuming-
way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and he's homebound. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Okay, so are you trying to be quiet as you're coming pacing down to the cargo bay?
I am being moderate. If they hear me, they hear me. It's not gonna change my mind.
All right, so I won't even have you guys roll for it. You guys back in the cargo bay, you start to hear the footsteps of and Theo is standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
So, how does it go?
Interesting.
We haven't blown anything up yet, which is nice. We
Yeah,
also
being the
haven't
keyword.
been able to make much happen in general. So I genuinely believe I think we're just gonna get we're gonna have to find a source that tells that is or that has text about mana and what the hell it is and how the hell you can access it. Either that or again, we just go back in time again, which I don't think we're gonna want to do just for a bit of knowledge on how magic works.
So, as you mentioned the corridors of time, all of you actually notice Singe 1 is missing.
Oh, shit, what?
Wait, what was that?
Singe is gone.
Oh,
You guys didn't accidentally do something, did you?
no.
No, I don't think he's been. He hasn't. He didn't say anything at all. So I think he's just been gone this entire time. That is concerning.
Isn't he part Vex or something? What I
I
heard from you guys.
don't know what the fucking connection is.
So maybe the Vex part of his brain called him off somewhere.
Yeah. Hopefully we can link up with him again soon enough.
Hopefully, he's not in any parallel danger like that one.
Our princess is in another castle.
You're far from a princess.
Yeah, I'm a king, bitch. I had a crown and everything.
Then wouldn't that mean you're a fallen king since it's cracked?
I'm more like he destroyed the crown, so not my fault.
Anywho, you two are really obsessed with this book.
I mean, it's a new avenue to make
Just
things
because you
happen.
eat crayons while we read books doesn't mean that we have to stop learning.
It's
Joke's on you, I don't need to
interesting.
eat.
The thing is that this is interesting. This is previously unknown knowledge. I'd like to learn everything I can about it. I'd like to maybe be able to tap into it one day. Who knows?
This
Maybe
might be
it
a
could be
power
helpful in
that
the
regular
future.
people can attribute to.
That too. If we could start, if this is, if obviously non-guardians can use this, or could use it, if normal humans still can, we could have an okay defensive force that even excluding guardians.
Meaning they could defend themselves and
Who
not
knows?
just be cowering.
I mean, obviously they wouldn't be like on the front lines, but as a defensive force, it could be nice to have a bit of magic on our side.
All of these spells need a target to actually work.
Well, I mean, the one we were trying
Okay,
to
we'll
cast
stand there and we'll
earlier,
try it.
the
Yeah.
one we were trying to cast earlier was just it. All it did, or all it was supposed to do, is make some lights appear and dance around and stuff. It wasn't. There is no target. You just make something happen.
Well, then try something that targets and target me.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find something that won't do any blasting damage.
Okay. What could we have you do?
Did it just go quiet for anybody else?
Yes.
Yeah, it absolutely did.
I thought I lost
Mhm.
connection for a second. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought y'all went quiet for a second.
Hello,
Because I'm just sitting
guys.
here listening and monitoring.
Mama.
guys.
I'm more or less waiting for to hear roll an arcana or something, roll a hit. I'm looking for like one of those words.
Make a perception check. Oh shit! No!
Make a charisma save.
Oh
No,
god!
an acrobatics save.
Oh, I've got to make a jump. No.
So you want to use something that is not damaging?
He said damaging, like to target him.
Well, I don't think damaging. Like maybe I don't know something that like
What
No.
or
level?
nothing like
No damage.
yeah no something to like I don't know give him a good gut punch or something like that.
Damage.
Okay. Actually, then let's go with magic missile.
All right.
Do we both want to try it?
Well, I mean, I'm reading, so I guess I would try it first, and then if it doesn't
Little
work with me, I'd
missiles.
give you the chance. All right, explain it to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it real quickly. 8. I love it.
So you attempt to form a void bolt in your hand, and you kind of gesture to fire it, and
Nothing
it
happens.
falls maybe a foot and just dissipates.
Is it a void kind of projectile, or is it something else?
It's void mostly because this is the magic you're tapping into.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just making
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Elias, I'll have you roll
Alright.
Arcana to give it a shot.
All right. 1 second. 10.
Okay. So likewise, you start to form an arc bolt in your hand, and you try the same thing. You gesture to kind of to fling it, like you're kind of like tossing out like your thunder strike, and it just kind of like fizzles and does nothing. But in this kind of way, you kind of feel like, hey, your thunder strike melee is at least somewhat similar in that aspect. You're just kind of like doing that. So try Arcana again, and you'll have advantage.
Oh,
18.
18. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So you form a stronger bolt, a stronger arc bolt in your hand, and you gesture out again to kind of throw it. And it does hit Theo, but it kind of just just kind of bounces off of his chest plate and doesn't do any damage.
See, now that's something.
Paradox looks
Still
well.
using
That's
the
progress.
right. The
I mean,
interesting thing is, or sorry.
no, yeah, Paradox is just like chiming in.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, well, I mean, it's progress. You're
It's
actually forming something.
it's something, but I would be interested in maybe seeing if we can tap into mana as like an energy source, or if we can figure out a way to tap into it. I don't know. I feel like the big thing here is, can we use this to arm maybe not all the civilians, but like the non-guardian personnel who work at the tower, so they're not using they just don't just have guns. Give them a bit more to work with than just a gun.
It's an interesting theory, but it's going to take a long time of practice and study of this arcana, and even for it to be implemented amongst this city, this is going to be a process that could potentially take years, because you're understanding something completely fresh, and then you're having to teach that to several other people. I'm just telling you, above game, like you can begin the studying for this kind of stuff, but the overall like product you want to kind of get out of it, like getting defenses for the city like that may take a lot longer than you're thinking.
Right now it's just like a thing it potentially could, like, regardless
I
of
mean,
like how much
it's
time
Yeah,
it would take.
you're formulating
Could
theories
it
and
happen?
different
Yeah,
applications
it's
to
a
it.
could, not is it viable. It's just like, is this possible at all?
Yeah.
it's a start.
Yes.
Yep.
After that, we can discuss if we want to actually like make this a
Science.
thing, or if we just want to use it for study.
Blinded by science. All right, so you
Oh,
guys will
so-
continue to just kind of fiddle around with the magic and studying the books. In the meantime, you guys will have made your approach to Venus, and
Venus has a penis.
Elsie will come over the intercom and call you guys up to the bridge.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the books away, or like I'm gonna take the books with me.
Yeah, you pack up your things and you're getting ready because you know you're gonna be departing.
Yeah, rather not leave these behind, considering.
Elsie will look to uh, Elias. This, you're looking a lot better.
Mm.
Hmm. Your friend Julius, these coordinates he gave us, they're outside the Ishtar Academy. You know anything about the place?
Not really. I'm mid taking a bite of a sandwich.
Hmm. Um, any
Given
of
the in-game
you?
excuse of why I sound weird at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, and she just kind of like, okay. Anyone else know anything about this location?
No, sorry.
Not exactly, no.
Well, apparently Julius didn't have time to explain what he didn't have time to explain.
You know how talkative he is.
No, I'm making a joke to all of you
Yeah.
if y'all didn't realize that.
So as you begin your approach, the coordinates are leading you to a massive university building that seemed to be, looks like it might have been like a large dorm room of some kind. All right, so
Hmm.
she brings the ship into approach and begins to fly over to the university building. And as you start to approach, you start to get a better look at it, and this is a very nice building. Like the Ishtar Academy has some very nice futuristic looking designs in its architecture. You're seeing
Very
a lot of
sturdy
that,
walls.
very sturdy walls. They look like they could, withstand the test of time. And sure enough, a lot of these buildings have. And so as you begin your approach, you do see there's a couple of figures standing up at the rooftop, and as the camera zooms in and you do see the figures, you do see Julius with his hands in his pockets looking up at the ship. And you guys will come in for the approach, and you guys will land onto the helipad. And at this point, you guys will be at the airlock ready to depart. And as you guys are waiting, and the medical crew is bringing Malachi down in a stretcher, there's another crew waiting there to receive him. And as soon as he's brought down, he's immediately taken in by the other crew, and they immediately start to rush him inside. Julius looks over and watches over the handoff and looks up to you guys and gives you a solemn nod as you guys approach. Julius kind of looks back over to where Malachi was and looks at you, Elias. He's kind of waiting for you to say something.
I didn't do it. But we found him in the halls of time. Don't question it. I don't know how I got there either. I just woke up there and then he was there.
You see his brow kind of furrow a little bit underneath his glasses a little bit, and he's just, you can tell his face is kind of like scrunching a little bit in like somewhat
Confusion.
disbelief and confusion.
Yeah,
And
it was a
he's
weird
kind of,
time.
he's just kind of looking at all of you, and he just kind of shrugs like, really? Like, that's all?
My brother in Christ, I was in a castle in a different timeline. Try explaining that.
He was.
He shrugs and he just kind of waves for all of you to follow him, and he just keeps his hands in his pockets and he brings you into the facility.
He's just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
We're screwed up.
Hmm.
Surprise.
So you guys are brought inside the building, and you're brought to an elevator right away. And it's a fairly large elevator. It looks like it can probably hold about maybe 15 people.
With Theo, it's 13.
I was gonna say it's 4.
It's big enough to
4.
even carry the chunky boy.
Theo, you can ride in here.
Theo doesn't have to take the freight elevator.
He doesn't have to take the stairs.
Wait, so
So-
that raises the question: how heavy is Ash?
Ash is a warlock in smaller frame.
Yeah, but still made of metal.
That's
What's
actually
that
a
even
question.
mean?
That's up for Bork to decide.
I don't know. I feel like I'm somewhere in between you guys and Theo. Probably closer to you guys, though. Because I imagine being a Titan probably does add to the mass.
Oh yeah.
I imagine the metal. Because there are, like, metals that are that are, like, not, like, feather light, but, like, fairly light.
Yeah.
And you could make the argument that exos are composed of those kinds of metals. So, like, for all we know, exos may be like the same weight as humans because the materials that are used can mimic that way. But I
How
don't
do
know.
you
I feel
explain
like I'm
me?
definitely close. You're a Titan. You're a chunky boy.
He's thick.
Damn boy, he's thick.
Yeah, he's thick. He's boy thick.
So you
Sorry,
guys are riding down in the elevator, and you guys are going down for a few floors. And cue elevator music now.
We
Are
swap
you
songs.
humming "Girls of Ipanema"?
You can see how long it take you.
Like I recognized it instantly, and it was like, wait a minute.
Boom! And the doors open up. And you guys are brought into this large-looking penthouse. It's a fairly large living room that you're walking into with some futuristic-looking couches. They're kind of a gray, dark grayish color for the cushions on them. And it's overlooking out across the view you're looking out across is of the Ishtar Academy. It looked like it was kind of their university grounds, so you're able to see what would be a lot of the students packing the university at the time, kind of their campus grounds. And Julius just kind of gestures for all of you to come in.
Ooh.
And we shall.
So you guys will all enter in, and do you guys take a seat? Do you stay standing? Do you kind of start walking about? What do you do?
I'll be standing.
Yeah, I
How
think
about the
I'd
rest of
be
y'all?
I'm gonna stay standing myself, so yeah.
I'm just gonna lean against a wall.
He's gonna look cool.
No, I'm just choosing a random wall and just leaning there, just so I'm not standing still.
He's being cool. We know what he's doing.
So Julius will take off his sunglasses and he'll look to you, Elias, and goes, as I said, Malachi's been gone for 3 days. This
Oh.
was the first I heard of it. When he disappeared, I went looking and found next to nothing. Your call was the first I heard of this.
Well,
He
kind of.
he's he doesn't have a very happy look on his face. He's feeling a little pained.
If you're feeling down that you guys couldn't have rescued him, just think about it. You guys would have been way out of y'all's class going into a place that is literally where you could have fallen out of time anywhere. Y'all would have been risking y'all's own lives, and that's not what Malachi would have wanted.
He tilts
Yeah,
his head a little bit at that, and he's agreeing with you, but you can kind of read it in his face and his body language. He still feels like he could have did something to stop it.
You're going up against a man that can literally run through time.
He just kind of shrugs at that, just like, so.
Yeah, he could have did something, and that would have been dying, and I hate to say it like that. As much as I have respect for you, Malachi, and everybody else, that would have just been a fool's errand and a useless death. Even Malachi would say the same thing.
He takes this little knowledge in, and he just kind of nods at that, just, yeah, you're probably right. He kind of he walks further in and gestures for you to take a seat and to relax. He goes to the kitchen and he grabs a bottle from the bar. Pulls out a couple of glasses and sets them down. Pops the cork of a bottle of liquor that you've not seen before, and he's gesturing to all of you if you want a drink.
Sure.
Don't see why not.
A cheers to a successful rescue.
So Julius will pour up a couple of glasses and slide them down the counter over to you guys. And y'all take a sip.
I will.
All right, so this is some supremely fine whiskey.
Is it the stuff that we brought back that they managed to
Supreme.
resynthesize?
No, this is a bottle of some rather old and high-end whiskey.
Hmm.
You could assume just based on this might be coming from Malachi's personal stash.
Neat.
Julius takes a healthy drink from the glass and kind of sets it down. Presses his lips together a little bit. Just, what's your plan?
At the moment, I honestly don't know where to go. Unless these guys have an idea, looking at everybody else in the room.
Do you really
Remy
want my answer?
Remy's kind of looking out across the university. I might have an idea. It's, well, it
I already know it.
It's
I
a
it's
already
bad
know
plan.
it.
probably a
Hmm.
terrible, very bad idea, but hear me out.
I'm gonna interrupt her and go. A bad plan executed at the right time is better than a perfect plan executed 20 minutes late.
I want your help to get me to control whatever this, and she gestures to her back, whatever this is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The seal that was in the book that you saw when I left the cargo bay earlier. That seal is on my back. That mention of celestial rage, those notes, it's true. And I have it.
I do still feel like there's still a better way than to resort to that.
Well, there
I
is
mean,
another thing that could be done. Use it in small increments and until your body is used to it. Not unleash it at the full amount and just fight against us slowly until you get full control of it.
It's not something you can just slowly release. It's either on or off.
Hmm. So that means we'd have to beat you on that form.
and do remember that the
I'm
end result is death.
I need you to stop me if things get out of control, and I understand what I'm asking is crazy, but I think Theo has a good idea, and if I can focus on one thing and stay focused on that one thing, maybe I can gain control over the rage.
Hmm. Well, we could always do it like this. Save some of the fucking dark matter material, so even if you wanted to hit me, you couldn't, but you still keep trying to fight me.
Have you actually checked it since the encounter?
No. And so I will go ahead and look.
As you check the device, it is fully depleted.
We need to find some more dark matter.
Yeah, you think?
There goes one suggestion that I had.
Yeah, you might have been forced to deplete it in the final encounter there.
Well,
Yeah.
we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Also, you have an idea for what you need to gather anyway. Remy looks at the device and goes, I think that won't be much of a problem. Getting more of that anyway. She kind of looks out back across the university again. There's more than one way to acquire that, but well, let's just hope there's, I don't know, some farming method we might be able to acquire. And as she says farming method, Julius kind of perks up a little bit and is just eyes kind of wide, like he just remembered something like, and he kind of gestures his hand up a little bit and just holding up a finger. The garden. You asked us to acquire dark matter through the plant life. We were able to do so. actually.
Hmm.
You see him kind of reach for a little pad, and you see him start to tap some stuff on there a little bit. I'll have them send a shipment out here as soon as possible. May take time.
Could always be worse.
Remy kind of looks back to all of you. I don't know what else we can do. If we're going to challenge someone like him, we're going to need something then stronger than him.
What we need is something that can impose his movement. I mean,
You-
sure, you two can handle it because you'll be able to more or less keep his pace, but that's only 2 of the 5 manpower that we have.
I'd just gesture to fucking the book that Ash has. Find if
You mean
there's a spell that might be able to restrict his movement.
you mean the
Okay.
book that we have no understanding of?
Yeah, the book that we literally
But
cannot utilize
I
because we
know,
don't know how the
but
power
it can
works.
give us a look into what
I
might
guess.
be a good thought.
I guess. I'll pull the book out and have a look through. See if I can see anything of that, like about like slowing someone down or freezing someone or something like that.
So it'll take some time to sift through. So we'll say that that's going to be a part of an active research thing you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm just reading for the rest of this conversation.
Mm-hmm. So while you're doing that, Remy will point back to the book, and she says to you, Elias, that book is dangerous for a lot of different reasons. So I hope you guys, if you are going to experiment with it, I really hope you take some caution with it. And if you do look more up on the Celestial Rage seal, just ask me if you have any questions. I might be able to answer it a little better.
If something comes up.
She kind of nods reluctantly at you, and
I don't plan on dying anytime soon.
Yeah,
Again.
nor do I.
well, I don't think any of us do. But if we're gonna take on Godhand and we're gonna meet him at his level, we need to bring him down to ours. And she looks over to the book as Ash is reading it. And I'm thinking I'm starting to understand how.
How what?
How we beat him.
Well, we got time to explain what we have time to explain.
The short answer is that seal is on my body, and once it's activated, I turn into a slicing rage monster. Um, and she points out this this particular line in that text. It says, "Imagine what they could do if they absorbed 5 or 6 high-level wielders. They could wield a power in the short term that could challenge the gods themselves."
AKA probably Guardians. Is what it's referring to.
Both times I've experienced this, I wasn't around any guardians, so there wasn't anything I see that I would have absorbed. What if
But how many dead Guardians were in the area?
I mean, if we're talking the Red War, there wasn't anyone around me at the time. I was the only one. I was helping civilians escape the city as the last offensive was readying. I was by myself at the time when it happened, and, well, I took out several squads of Cabal with ruthless efficiency. And she's just kind of like saying this, just like with a facial expression, like, yeah, I kind of did this, and I don't remember doing it. If I'm right, then if I was to absorb, say, the light of other guardians, that power could be raised even higher. If I can raise that power high enough to challenge him, or to even somehow bring him down, it might be worth trying, don't you think?
Wait a minute. He said that he is going to be bringing his disciples or some what will probably be also around too, right? Why not sacrifice them?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a sacrifice.
But you
The-
know what I mean, like draining them of their energy in a sense.
Well, yeah. Um, the way I understand it, though, is they're going to have to be around me, so I have to be near them for it to happen. And at the moment, I don't know how to trigger it. The only time it's ever happened is, well, both times I was quite literally near my last life. If I can figure out how to trigger it and gain more control over it, maybe we can gain an advantage. I know I'm grasping at straws at the moment, and we're kind of running low on ideas, but maybe it's for the best. I don't know. Remy will walk over to the bar, and Julius will slide her a glass of the whiskey, and she takes a big drink from it.
Big old sippy cup.
Big ol' highball glass. So while you guys are quietly sitting in this penthouse, someone does come through the elevator door, and they're wearing some doctor scrubs. They look like there's someone clearly in medical, and they walk over to Julius, and they do whisper something into his ear, and you see him nod a couple of times, and the doctor look at him as he nods, and the doctor will look at all of you. Malachi will make it through, but it's going to take some time for him to recover. If you want some words with him, you're going to have a few minutes. So I'd say this is going to be a good time to go talk to him now if you want. Who wants to go have a chat with Malachi?
Not being because I'm an idiot.
I guess I will.
about to say, if I'm not getting a volunteer, I'm gonna roll for it, and I'm just gonna make someone do it.
Well,
Roll
I'm
for it, see
reading.
who it is.
I cannot go see the homie Malachi. I am reading.
All right, so it's gonna be Theo or Uros. And I know Matrix is
Mhm.
away, so.
Sorry,
Oh.
I'm back. I kind of
I was
here,
asking,
but-
do you want to go have a conversation with Malachi?
Yeah, I'll do it. Wait, he's away. Okay, right? Okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
you were
he's
you were
partially
you
awake.
were yeah, you were
Okay.
just told he was awakened.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I know you stepped away for a minute, so
Yeah, sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah, I'll go see him.
Okay. So do both you and Theo go to see him then?
Or you coming, Theo, or you wanna?
I'll
Yeah.
probably follow along just in case.
Okay, so
All right.
guess it's
So Ash is
Yeah.
chilling at the bar with Julius, reading her book. Remy's just kind of chilling there, sipping on the whiskey
Oh.
too. And you three will go see Malachi. So you guys are led into what looks like a very clean and nice hospital room, which is surprising considering this is a dormitory that you're in, but this particular wing seems to be refitted to be a hospital wing.
good.
And you're led back into the room, and you see Malachi laying up on the bed. He's kind of the bed is leaned up a bit, so he's sitting up a little bit, and he looks to you all kind of sleepily. Just, hey, you made it.
It looks like
Would
you
be
did
saying the same
too.
thing to do.
Yeah, you look like shit.
Well, thank you, Eros. Appreciate your honesty.
I'm just glad you're alive.
Mm, alive is relative, I guess. I've been told we're on Venus now.
Yes, we brought you here quickly.
You lost a lot of blood.
As I was told. Mm. And he's looking fairly sleepy. His eyes are kind of like half closing a little bit as he's talking to you guys.
Malachi, what do you remember of anything?
We are kind of curious on how they got.
Before I was taken, I was going over the sensor logs for the temporal stuff, the temporal rifts we were finding. I started to discover a pattern. They were correlating along certain ley lines. It's confusing to me, but the pattern began to emerge, and then the next thing I know, I'm pulled and I'm thrown into a cold, dank cell. And I heard him. He wanted to know what I knew and how much I told you. I'm usually good when it comes to dealing with matters of torture. You tend to deal with that in my line of work, but I couldn't stop him. And I told him everything. He has been toying with us in ways I didn't even imagine we were being toyed with. Everything that has led up to this moment has been by his design. The girl, The pink-haired one. She's his ultimate nuke from within. I'm assuming you read the books that you found around the castle, yeah?
Well,
You seen the knowledge that it holds in there?
well, Ash read them and translated it to us. So yeah,
That energy absorption method that she carries. The power that it could wield would make hive gods and the sword logic fall to her knees. That power she can generate is unlike anything. And she was meant specifically to kill all of you.
Hmm.
Do you truly fathom the power that that girl wields? You may have seen her in action. I've seen her in action in the Crucible, but that is just a fraction of what that girl can possess.
I've experienced what she's felt through it, so I can at least understand a bit of it. Though she wishes to use it for a better purpose, which will try and stir her into a right direction.
Theo, have you ever worked with an atom bomb before?
I mean, I carried the vessel of dark matter. Does
You've
that count?
carried something with destructive power, yes, but have you ever worked with it? Played with its intricacies and nuances? Seen what makes it tick?
I look at Elias.
What?
The one explosives expert.
I mean, technically I have, but
No, I'm saying like I work with him. Does that count?
So I'm assuming then you know the volatility then of high explosives.
well, the easiest option right now, since she's the most dangerous thing in the world, is that she's not really paying attention, go into the other room and kill her. That's the easiest option, and that eliminates that part. But none of us want to do that. And I don't want to do that. She's a good kid. I don't want to do that. I don't want to put blood on my hands like that. And that just throws that bit of his plan out of the way. So, but yeah, no, I'm not down for murder. So, she's still around. She's gonna be a nuke that's living in our walls, basically. But we will find a way around this shit. Cause fuck that guy. Or that Ahamkara dickhead. And we'll find a way around it.
Malachi just kind of smiles a little bit. Well, I do appreciate your optimism. We do need to have a more solid plan. That, and he's looking around. That new one who was around, the one who helped me out of the castle. Where are they?
We don't know at the moment.
Hmm. Well then. In the meantime, I'm going to get some rest. Julius will help you in the interim while I'm gone. He has access to all of my networks. He'll be able to assist you in any fact finding that you may need to do while I'm gone.
Specifically, what about those ley lines that you mentioned earlier?
The pattern that was forming.
Mm-hmm.
The closest I could potentially describe it in some sort of visual form would be of a double helix. Imagine time flowing on a singular line, and certain events cause fractions in that line, like pressure being placed to glass and the glass cracking. And the more that pressure is exerted, the more cracks occur. At first, I thought it might be randomized, like some sort of, well, I guess if you look at it in a line, maybe it might resemble something of a tree, but in turn, that's not actually what happens. These breaks are going both backwards and forwards in time. If I was to ponder a guess, he's weaving time into something else. I don't know if it's... Frankly, I'm still trying to wrap my mind to how it's all possible, but events from the future are happening in the past, and vice versa. Things that were supposed to happen in current time either have already happened before it's supposed to, or even after. He's putting pressure on time and it's cracking like glass. If we can't find a way to stop him, that glass will eventually shatter, and the universe as we know it will collapse in on itself. Julius will walk in at this moment and he'll come closer to Malachi and he'll whisper something in his ear. Well, that's interesting. You all know that Venus has been under Vex control for a long time now, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You find it funny that you didn't run into any on your way here?
Not really. Didn't really give it much thought until you put it into words.
It certainly strikes me as something unusual. The Vex are usually all over the Ishtar Academy down below. Julius did a sweep of the area and they're nowhere to be found.
So that raises the question, what's happening on the moon, too? Are the high forces weaker or stronger there?
I don't know. In the meantime, we'll try to work this out, figure our next move. I don't know what you plan on doing with the girl, but I hope it's the right decision. for all our sakes. And he kind of lays back a little more into the bed. I'm tired now. I'm gonna rest.
You're doing that.
So you guys all exit out of the room, and the majority of you are standing in the hallway there.
Kind of cramped in this hole.
What's our next course of action? Because we can't exactly wait while Ash finds a possible solution.
But we also don't really have a direction to go. We don't know where he is, what he's doing.
Paradox will chime in. Well, what about Singe? I mean,
We
they're part Vex, right? So maybe their disappearance is somehow connected to the Vex disappearance?
could be, but the only thing is that we don't even know where he's at. We don't have any leads there. He could be anywhere from here all the way to Pluto.
Yeah, and any time in between. So, yeah, it's certainly a needle in a haystack. Well, hmm. Maybe the Vex lead might yield something. I mean, if most of them are gone, maybe there's some still around, and maybe we can. I don't know.
Well, how about we start searching around the Ishtar Academy and see if there's any other Vex structures that the group has missed. And I'll look at Joyous. Is there anything that's unique around here that's Vex that may have been locked?
Julius kind of shrugs, just like, I don't know. This university's been here a long time. I don't know much more about it than Malachi would, and we just know this is a repository of old knowledge. It's been retrofitted to suit more of our needs.
Oh, how about we just start flying around Venus until we find something that's looks important to the Vex? Go in like a spiral pattern outward until we find something.
I guess it's better than nothing.
Because Vex also fuck with time.
Well, let's see if we can
Paradox
find
will
a
chime
gate or
in.
something.
It might even yield us a little more direction, because if the Vex are involved, they might. I mean, I'm kind of spitballing here, but maybe they might be on our side.
Yeah, that could be a case.
I mean, they don't care for the light or the darkness equally, so
But they
maybe.
also don't want to be completely destroyed too, and they probably realize what's happening to time also.
Uh, it's worth digging into, and if nothing else, it at least gives us some direction.
You know, out of game, what I want to go look for.
I do, but you already know what's on the way, so.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta wait.
I mean, we could go there and just see.
So, what should we attempt to have a temporary truce with the Vex to help stop time from being destroyed?
Well, we got to find the Vex first. That's the thing.
And yes, and Paradox chimes in. Yeah, we don't really know where Singe went, so I guess if we can somehow access the local Vex and maybe see if we can find anything from them, maybe it might help us figure out what's going on.
And while at it, we learn more about the Vex.
All right, so decided then.
I
Yeah,
guess we're
it
just
seems like we're gonna be trying to find some way to get in contact with the Vex. So
never thought I'd hear myself saying that.
so onward to Venus and hopes to find a
You're already
Vex
on Venus.
monument. Well, yeah, I know. To Venus to find a monument.
To our sins.
And on that note,
Yay.
that's going to be
Sorry, I
the
just
end
finished.
for tonight's session. Going to be a little shorter than the normal 3-hour that we do, but just felt like this is going to be a good place to stop because we won't be doing our normal D&D on the following week.
Oh, that's right.
Why? What's going on?
I'm doing that.
Well, I'm gonna let everyone know. This the next time we do DnDestiny here is gonna be on October 30th, and I've decided I want to do something a little more fun for you guys. So we're gonna do a Destiny
Spoopy one-shot?
Halloween one shot. Yes,
Yay!
we're doing Spoopy one shot for Halloween.
Oh my god.
Spoopy, spabby, spabatins.
Speaking of Halloween, Festival of the Lost starts in 2 days, which is going to be
It does,
fun.
yep. So yeah,
Curious what
and
the activity's going to be.
yeah, but yeah, so we'll be doing a little bit of a break from the normal campaign here, but we will be back in a number of weeks. And yeah, we got Transformers next weekend, and then the Halloween one shot will be on the 30th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine.
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 Mine. Mine.
We're idiots.
Yeah, we are
And we
Oh
all
my
broke out.
God.
Mine.
idiots.
So, you guys got anything to plug and do other than my dog barking now?
Bark.
I don't know what he's barking at, so don't mind me. I don't know. I've been kind of
He's
back and
barking
forth.
like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
Yes, please listen to them. Don't listen to me. You can just do what they said.
Disregard everything Matrix says.
No, I'm just recording
Like,
everything
subscribe,
you
and maybe report the video.
say. Report Jesus Christ! Ow! If you
Perhaps
do,
we
report
should
the specific
report.
player who said that.
But
Oh my god.
I mean, I fully intend to be streaming tomorrow on the 17th because that is my birthday.
It's his birthday. His birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday!
Yay!
He's gonna be finally
Yeah.
21. Oh wait.
For like the 13th time.
21 for the 13th.
Why?
Oh wait,
Hold
so
on.
no, it's gonna be
Uh,
the 16th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I know, we keep a truck in here.
Yeah. Beep beep.
Anniversary time.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta, make yourself feel, there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, if
yeah.
I did it, it would be way different numbers. So,
But yeah,
you'd be
I-
glad.
But probably gonna stream maybe some Overwatch 2, some random games. I don't know. Just kind of I'm feeling out what I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna be playing. So, but yeah, do a little bit of that tomorrow. Outside of that, that's it for me.
Rest of you jokers have anything to plug? Actually, I don't really care.
No.
Yeah, no,
User
I don't think
Redacted, that's his name, and we're gonna call him that.
Yay,
It's not
yay.
Mercer, it's User Redacted. Actually, I need to change that in Discord and on the stream. Just call you User Redacted from now on. That's all your title's gonna be.
Exactly.
So with that though, Mercer will eventually maybe be streaming. So
Hopefully.
when he does, we'll put his link up here too, so we can give him the love and support. Go find him anyway and harass him.
Let's just dox him real fast.
And I know I haven't been streaming a lot because I've been busy with a lot of stuff and being exhausted most of the time. But I am trying to stream again a little bit here and there, so that way it's just for fun. And I may redo Lone Echo 2 only if I can get my VR controller fixed. So we'll see. Because that seems to be a popular thing, and I will try to do it bit by bit, try to do the upgrades. I've been thinking about this for a while, but that's going to, again, I got to get my controller fixed first before I do it, because it's not working properly. I got stuff to clean it, but I got to take it apart, and I don't want to. I'm thinking of just buying the controller.
You're rambling.
I know.
And
It's on my
next week,
brains.
Transformers, where
Yeah.
Gilgamesh is
Yes.
going on a snakebite venom hallucination trip.
He's tripping circuits.
Holy
Literally.
shit, that sounds awesome. What?
Yeah, he's tripping circuits.
Oh yeah, you absolutely should check out the last episode. It was a smash.
Last thing I'd expect for Transformers is a fucking
Yeah, he's tripping balls, man, but it's tripping circuits.
See, like,
kill a bear.
Even if you're not like a big Transformers fan, I would argue that we're creating a unique story that I think anyone can enjoy, whether you're a fan of Transformers or not.
Still should have cut off the leg.
God damn it.
Yeah,
You're gonna-
you can say that all you want. You're not getting my leg.
He's
So,
not dead, okay?
I'm not dead,
So-
and I'm not turning into a zombie.
Pegleg,
you don't know.
pirate zombie.
Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
Give him a hook for a hand.
Oh my God. He didn't get bit by one of them, okay?
How do we know? It could be airborne.
How would you know?
It's
You just have to
liquid-borne.
watch the episode to know how it happened.
In detail.
Tonight on Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, on Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. No.
But no, if anyone who is watching this on YouTube and you haven't checked out our Transformers campaign, I highly recommend you do. I say this because even if you're not a fan of Transformers, we're trying pretty hard to create a story that is unique to the Transformers universe, but still kind of fits into it while being its own unique thing.
Yeah, the story I have set up and the place and time, it is not where it's at. So this is literally a whole new timeline, really. So you're enjoying a story along with the rest of them. They're literally running the show. I am just the puppeteer pulling some strings here and there. So with that, links are in the description below on Twitch, but also if you go to the YouTube link, you'll find more links there for Swerve's Bar Podcast. They both have their D&D sessions as well. Dave's link is on both Twitch and the YouTube, and I forgot what else other link is over there. I will be putting up some other
Hi, Nick.
stuff.
I
So.
see you in chat.
Yes, hi. I'll call you later. But yeah, if there's anything else, I think that's it, really. I'm going to try and stream another episode of Space Engineers, which I'm hoping, well, actually, I won't be able to get that ship off the ground yet because it's got to still fill up. It's only at about 20%.
Bring me in as a surprise villain.
Okay. I already got surprise villains. There's mods in that I've got ships coming in now, so. And ones that are wanting to fight me, and I'm like, no, I fought you before. No. So with all that, you guys take it out.
See you guys next week. Get some sleep.
Eat some pineapple.
Or eat a reef.
I don't know what to say.
There you go. See, there's the ending for you. Wherever you're at in the world, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Just the quote of eat some pineapple.
Eat some pineapple.
The fucking pineapple.
Here, I'm going to cause controversy.
Eat some pineapple. Blue Visor 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, pineapple's good.
Oh yeah.
And here, I'll put another one. I'm going to make controversy. Throw it on pizza. Bye.